Subho Bijaya Dashami, Happy Dasera, and Subho Bijaya to everyone. Om Gama Ganeshaya Nama. This video is actually on Stree Jataka. This is about understanding the characteristic of a female Jataka from a horoscope. My friends, in classics, Stree Jataka is covered in BPHS, Phaldeepika, Jatak Parijat, uh, Brihat Jataka, and these are the four books, like majorly like a chapter is dedicated for Stree female horoscopy. So clearly it mentioned that when we see a chart of a male and a female, the female chart has got some nuisances, some speciality, some peculiarity, something which are unique to the female, whether it's a bodily attributes, whether it's in terms of the uh, female native, there is some peculiarity, some speciality, of course, which is not common to the like the male counterpart. So this particular video is a small part which is based on the understanding about the minor aspects, characteristic, or the modesty or the character of a female Jataka from the chart, from the Lagna chart and from the Triamsha, the D30 chart. Now, before I move on to the table, which I will explain, I will show some three charts, and that will make everything clear. Few combinations I want to highlight, which are there in Nadi, Brigunandi Nadi, which symbolize some extra passion whenever those are in the chart. So the thing which you have to keep in mind is uh, to understand the character of a female. This specific video is only about understanding the character, the outlook of that particular female, and that is based only on the ascendant or the moon, whichever is stronger. So going to the attributes and directly predicting will be very very bookish. That is not to be done. So you need to understand few combinations in a chart which usually gives high passion in a particular person. Few of them I have mentioned here, those are the major things. This can be together, this can be in trines as well. So the first combination is Venus and Mars with or without Rahu. Now, Venus and Mars is a passion combination, especially if it is based in the Scorpio or the Aries, this Rashi, or the Venus Rashi, which is Taurus or the Tula. So these are the indications. If they both are together in those Rashis, Venus is going to the Saturn Navamsha further. This is only to be seen from the female chart. Then this indicates that the lady might have a higher drive, a sexual drive. So that is one thing. Second is Venus, Moon, and Rahu. So if Venus and Moon are there together, Venus and Moon are like female planets. Moon is related to mind, and Venus is related to luxuries. So mind is engulfed into luxuries in terms of that. It's very nourished also, but it is always very materialistic. And if Rahu is there, then the desire of the materials becomes very high. Desires of extravagancy becomes very high, and usually people with a Venus Moon Rahu ends up in even in drinking and even in bad habits. So that is also one combination which is as per Brigunandi Nadi. Then you have the Venus Mercury Mars. Any chart, if you take of a person, especially a female chart, if you see Venus, Mercury, and Mars is present in the chart, sitting together, especially in the 11th house, or the third house, the seventh house, you will definitely find there is an extramarital combinations, extra relationship combinations which happen before or after the marriage, and even after the marriage also, if the relationship is before, the friend comes up. This is an indication which I've seen in several charts. You can also follow, and you can also comment what is your observation. Then Moon, Mercury, and Rahu. So Moon and Mercury. Now this has to be a very weak moon, because moon is friend to Mercury, but Mercury is not friend to moon. So if the moon is weak, is within the 72 degree of sun, and it is with Mercury, and Rahu is also aspecting, or Rahu is there in together setting, then it gives a cunningness. And also, this is a yoga of having kalanka. Kalank, having even I have practically seen charts, the moon Mercury and Rahu giving relationship before marriage, even child before marriage. So these are the combination which you also have to check. It is not that I'm saying it blindly, but what are there in Brihat and Ninari, few of the combination, if it is there in the chart, just for the sake of the video, try to understand. These are the things which has to be there in the chart. Otherwise, this prediction will not match. Okay. Then Venus in the seventh house is considered to be very lusty. Venus in Saturn or Mars Navamsha. A Jupiter with a weak moon is also a combination where it gives, like slippery character. If the moon is weak and it is with Jupiter, and say moon is also with Sun, or moon is with Venus, and Jupiter is also there. So suddenly, and if it is together or in the seventh house from the Jupiter and moon, uh, if the moon is weak, also if the Jupiter is also weak, either of the planet has to be weak or both has will be weak. It is seen in many charts that this type of person, they are of slippery character and they like to travel. And also I have seen live-in relationship, because moon is the relationship which is not authorized. If you know the mythological story, you will understand from there. It's not an authorized relationship. So Jupiter, moon, and this particular this combination gives that kind of a character. Debilitated Venus, and this is also one indication, extra vacancy. Debilitated Venus doesn't mean that the money won't be there. Money will be excess, and the extra vacancy will be excess. Chances are there. And moon in Rohini Nakshatra, which is Taurus. So whenever moon Rohini means red in color, it signifies a passion. So that's a moon's favorite wife actually. So whenever moon is in Rohini Nakshatra in Taurus, whenever moon is in Taurus, it creates this kind of a, this extra uh, uh, like condition, lusty condition. So now what you have to do is you need to check two things of the female chart. If the Lagna and the moon both are in even signs, so here we see that the Lagna is Cancer, which is an even sign, and the moon is also in Capricorn, is an even sign. And Sun, additionally, Sun can be seen, but mainly what we have to see is the ascendant and the moon. However, there is a yoga called Mahabhagya Yoga. If Sun is also in like all the three Lagnas are in even sign for a female Jataka, it is considered to be a Mahabhagya Yoga. It makes a native prosperous, famous, and fortunate. So that is there. We can see this is Marilyn Monroe. This is Indira Gandhi. Here also you see the moon is in, the Lagna is Cancer and moon again in Capricorn, and sun is in Scorpio. So these are also this is a Mahabhagya Yoga. So if the Sutram says if Lagna and moon both are in female sign, the feminine characteristic will be dominant in the Jataka. So whether the lady is feminine or manly, masculine, because we all have the testosterone and estrogen. So basically, the estrogen gives the female characteristic and the testosterone the manly characteristic. But we all have. Even a male Jatak can be girly types. So here also, the Lagna and the moon, if both are in female signs, it gives feminine characteristics. The female will possess innocent looks, glowing luster, and good behavior. Further, if benefic planet aspect the ascendant or the moon, she will possess beautiful features, faithful to husband, long hair, and pleasant nature. So that is mentioned. So what we have to see is whether we have to see whether the particular lagna and the moon has fallen in even signs or not. If it has not fallen in even signs, in odd sign, what will happen? If these ascendants are in male sign, the native will possess manly qualities. Further, so if both are in the male sign, the characteristic will be manly, will be more outwardly, more this doer type of an attitude, more. manly perspective will be on the higher side. Further, if malefic aspects the same, if the malefic aspect, the ascendant or the moon, she will lack pleasant behavior. Her bodily composition and characteristic will be like men and of dubious character. So if both the benefic and the malefic aspects are in this ascendant, if both the ascendants are also in mixed signs, so imagine like both are in mixed sign, one in female, one in male, and both the benefic and the malefic aspects are there. So what we have to do, we have to see which is the strongest. So among the like the ascendant is the strongest or the moon is the strongest. If the ascendant is the strong, then we have to consider the ascendant characteristic. If moon is strong, we have to take moon in characteristic. So as of now, what we have understood is first we have to see whether the ascendant and the moon have fallen in the even signs or not for a female native. If it is falling, it gives a very womanly, motherly, and very female characteristic that is on the higher sides. And if it is in a male Rashi, then it gives a manly characteristics. Further, for few finer characteristics, these are the characteristics which can give some kind of a, problem in extramaritals or kind of indulgence or slippery. Venus, Mars, Rahu, Venus, Moon, Rahu, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Mars, Moon, Mercury, Rahu, Venus in seventh house, Venus in Saturn or Mars, Navamsha, Jupiter and weak moon conjuncting or opposite, or Jupiter also weak, and debilitated Venus, moon in Taurus or Rohini Nakshatra. These are the combinations. Now, this is a chart which I have prepared from uh, Brihat Jataka, BPHS, as well as Jatak Parijat. So, what it says, what we have to do is, what we have to do is, just a moment, we have to see oh, the ascendant and the D30, the Triamsha chart, D30. The Triamsha chart says about the evils of mind, the evils of characters, everything evils. Saturn, any planet falling in D30 in the Saturn Amsha creates problem. It's an evil the fall of that particular planet which falls. It signifies a fall in terms of the the characteristics aspects. So what it means to say is like what we have to do is we have to see the ascendant of the D1 chart, we have to see the ascendant of the D30 chart, as well as we have to see the moon in which Rashi, and in D30 also we have to see moon in which Rashi. Whichever is the stronger. If the ascendant is stronger, we will consider the ascendant. If the moon is stronger, we will consider the moon. So ascendant slash moon, whichever is the stronger, if both are stronger, if both are weaker, we have to consider the ascendant and the moon. So if the ascendant or the moon in an Aries or Scorpio, so imagine if the chart is like, here in this case, the ascendant is Cancer. So if we take this, the Cancer is the ascendant. If you go to the D30 chart, it is Scorpio. So it will fall in Mars, particularly Mars Trimamsha. So it is said if the Cancer is the Lagna and if Mars is the Trimamsha of the Lagna, then this lady will be doing whatever she wishes. She will be physically strong and will be kind of a manly kind of a characteristic, and whatever she feels right, she will do. She will not listen to anyone. Whatever she feels right, she will do like that. Similarly, the process of understanding the moon is here. Moon is in Leo, which is Simha, Leo, and here the moon is in Mercury. So what we have to do is again we have to see the moon. Moon is in Leo and in Mercury. So Mercury, under Mercury we find manly. So absolutely, this lady, particularly this lady, is actually of manly character. She likes a person. She's a renowned astrologer. She likes a person, and she's around 37 years old, and she will not marry anyone else other than this person. So that for this particular guy, she's in a relationship for the last 10-15 years, but there's some promise family problems, and for that the marriage is not taking place. And so the lady's waiting. She is 37 and she can if she doesn't, she's like this. If she is not marrying this person, she will not marry anyone. So that kind of a characteristic what we are seeing from the chart as well as from the Trimamsha also, we get the clarification that doing whatever she wants, whatever she wishes she will do. She is physically strong, she is financially strong, she is a very capable lady, and she is manly characteristics. More of a not manly, she is very much feminine, but manly in the sense she is very much into, like, this self self orient, like, self motivated, self driven kind of a person, that kind of a person. So let us understand like this: if the ascendant of the moon falls in the Mars Amsha and the Trimamsha of Mars, what happens? Gives immoral before puberty. If it is in Saturn, it gives slaves or dependent mentality. If it is in Jupiter, it is virtuous. If it is in Mercury, it is deceitful. If it is in Venus, it is immoral. If the moon or the ascendant falls in the Venus Rashi in the D1 chart and in the Trimamsha of Mars, then she will be sinful, quarrelsome. If it is on the Saturn, then she will marry the second time while the first is living. If it is in Jupiter, it is virtuous. If it is Mercury, she will be having artistic mindset. If it is Venus, so in D1 also Venus and in D30 also Venus, then she will be renowned, fond of wise men, liked by her husband. If the ascendant or moon has fallen in the Gemini or the Virgo, that means Mercury Rashi in the D1 chart, and in Mars Trimamsha, what will happen? She will be deceitful. If it falls in the Saturn, then it's very important, this important and widowed. And I have seen many ladies who has in the advanced stage and yet to give a birth, they have this combination. The Lagna Lord or the moon has fallen in the Saturn Amsha in the D30. So it gives impotency or even widowed. Not a good combination, Mercury and Saturn in the Trimamsha. If it is Jupiter, again virtuous. If it is Mercury, it is very good. If it is Venus, then she will be very materialistic, only thinking about her own wealth and everything, own attire, own looks and everything. She can be adulteress also. If the ascendant and the moon has fallen in Cancer, like in this case, we saw that the ascendant is Cancer and the Trimamsha is Mars, like I have explained. So if it is moon and Mars Trimamsha, then doing whatever she wants, she will do, just like I have explained. If it is Saturn, then it is causing death to husband or widowed. Not a good combination. Saturn is practically all a good bad combination. So if a planet fall for a female, the moon or the ascendant fall in Saturn, it is not good. If it falls in Mars, it is not good. Other than the Jupiter. Other than the Jupiter. Otherwise, it is not good. If it is Venus and Venus, then it is good. If it is Jupiter and Venus, it is good. Other than that, it is not good. Mercury is almost good, except Saturn and Mercury combination. Saturn and Mercury combination and Mars and Mercury combination. So you will find the planetary friendship and the enmity is also working out here. Jupiter is all good. And Jupiter in the Rashi and Saturn is also low sexual drive or helpless or needy, dependent mentality. So not good. So basically, Saturn, if a planet falls, the ascendant falls, it is not considered to be good. Mars, other than the Jupiter, it is not good. Venus, other than the Jupiter and Venus herself, is not good. And Mercury is all good except Makar and this Mars. So like that. So now let us see some charts. First of all, we see that the ascendant is a female, even sign, so female, and the moon is also female. So this girl, she will be very womanish, very like womanish. The girly characteristics, the female characteristics will be higher. Now, we are seeing that the ascendant uh, is having the ascendant lord based out here along with the seventh lord. So whenever the ascendant, any Rashi is having the lord based out of here, it makes the Rashi strong. So Scorpio is strong. Similarly, moon is also in Cancer. So moon is also strong. So both the ascendant and the moon are strong. If you come to Trimamsha, we are seeing that the ascendant here it is Tula. And for the moon also, the ascendant is Tula, which means Venus. So that means we are getting two condition, ascendant Mars and Trimamsha Venus, and we are getting ascendant Cancer and Trimamsha your this Tula again. So ascendant Mars, this particular line it will be ascendant Mars, and this particular Tula is immoral. We are getting immoral. And the same second thing we found ascendant Cancer, and it is Tula lustful. Now let me go back to the chart. So immoral and lustful we have got. You see in this particular chart, this female Jataka uh, as the ninth lord based in the ninth house, but Sun is debilitated as well as Jupiter is also debilitated. Remember, in any chart, if Sun and Jupiter are debilitated, the Sun and Jupiter both denotes the direction of life. Sun is the father and Jupiter is the guru. So whenever these two planets are like, in weak status, Jupiter is seriously weak because it is in the third house as well. Weak status, it gives like, no direction or fall of principle. This particular person will be morally lower. They will not have the guidance of the father. What happened is this, her father actually married twice, and she was like this like raised by her grandparents, and basically from a very like teenage, she's into multiple relationships, she is into physical relationships, she has a permanent boyfriend, she has a temporary boyfriend, and she's close to everyone. So, and she's also confused, so like that. So basically, why? Because here we are also finding out here that one has come as immoral, the other one has also come as lustful. So, because of the low moral combination, what we're seeing in this chart, see Venus and Mars together, and in the Mars Amsha, this creates a certain level of this particular passion that is clearly seen from the chart. Moon is also in the trine. And here we see the Sun and the Jupiter, the directional aspect of life, the 10th Lord, the Karma Lord, they both are so doing the wrongful thing, wrong things. So that is a thing. So she is into into this kind of a characteristics. So, so now coming to the last chart, here you see this particular lady. First, we will see the ascendant is even sign, and the moon is sorry, the ascendant is odd sign and the moon is even sign. So not matching. But what we see, the ascendant is between the Papka tree, strong Papka tree, Mars in their own house, Saturn in their own house. So like we are seeing. Again, we are seeing Sun is also debilitated out here. Now, let us come to the Trimamsha. In the Trimamsha, we see that the Navamsha rising is basically Shani, which is Aquarius. Shani is rising. So Jupiter rising here and Shani rising here. And moon here it is Tula, which is Venus. Here moon is also Tula. So we are getting two condition. We are getting Jupiter and Saturn. So we are getting Jupiter because it was in Dhanu, the D1, and the D30 in Saturn, which is Aquarius. So it makes low sexual drive, helpless, and needy, dependent mentality. The other we saw moon in Taurus and moon in Taurus. So basically it is Taurus, Taurus. So renowned, fond of wise men and likable characteristic, liked by everyone, liked by husband also. Now, understand the story here. Jupiter in a female chart is considered to be as the husband. Here we see Jupiter, the Lagna Lord, and the seventh Lord. They are both together, and Mercury is retro. So Mercury is now Mercury and Venus. There is a parivartana. So that means Jupiter, the husband, first was with the seventh Lord, and now there is a debilitated Venus also in the life, which is coming and swapping with the Mercury. So what is the factor is this person, this Jupiter, the husband, has got a relationship with a kind of a mistress, and although the husband is very close to the lady, but he is also a fallen character guy, and he's into this mistress, and this lady cannot leave this person because of very high repute, very high repute family and traditional family. So she cannot leave the husband also, but she's also not able to digest the matter. So here we are seeing that one is a low sexual drive, helpless, needy. So she's helpless actually. She's needy. That kind of mental. She's succumbing to that particular pressure. She don't know how to come out of this particular situation. And Moon is Taurus, Venus is Taurus. Renowned, fond of wise men, liked by husband from a very renowned, reputed, respected family background that we are also seeing in this particular chart. So this is how actually the Stree Jataka, this is a small part. I've started writing a book, and I will write on marriage, and this is a small part, a small chapter on the characteristics. One part of characteristic, there are other characteristic parameters as well, which I have tried to explain you through the chart. First, you need to see whether both the signs are for a female. This is only applicable if both are in female or both are in male, or female or male. What kind of combinations making there, and then you see these type of combination if they are there in the chart or not, uh, or not, and also see the Triamsha, which denotes the evil of us. So if it is falling in Saturn, is Saturn is all through bad. Even Saturn and Saturn, you see what is there. Even Saturn and Saturn also. Say, imagine like it is Saturn, and the Trimamsha is also Saturn. It is fond of low men, disliked by husband. So like that. So it's not a good combination. And if you want, you can just write down this table, or if you want, I can send me a mail. I can send the table also. So like that, you have to predict and understand about the Jataka. So this is one of the aspects. I hope this video makes sense and you have understood. And any question, please let me know. Thank you.